Good evening and welcome to Everybody Loves Juju 12 or 1-2 Talks Hoops. I'm your host, Juju. Let's talk hoops, y'all. Wherever you are around the country, for me, it is the evening. It's about 7:18, and for others across the East Coast, I'm sure it's probably for you pretty late, about 10 o'clock. Hopefully you're settled in and we can talk some hoops. Chat, how are you, chat fam? How are you? I know a lot of us have been anxious for more news regarding the USC Trojan women's basketball team, but be patient, y'all. Be patient. You're creating a masterpiece. You gotta be patient. The portal closes today, this evening. It is done. No more athletes can enter into the portal. As far as those that are in the portal, they do not have to make any decisions right away. They have every option to hold off and maybe wait on the $20 million NCAA. I guess there's something coming down the pipe where colleges can pay you directly as well. Collective bargaining, I think it's called. I'm not sure. Anyone in the chat that may understand that a little bit better, you're welcome to participate. But anyway, I was just waiting for some of y'all to come on in, and let's talk hoops. Okay, so the news is that, as you know, we lost Chris Kokanis, who is now the Dallas Wings head coach. So congratulations to Chris Kokanis, who was a big. He also was an assistant for the Spartans. She now has a assistant coach, Chris Kokanis, that has been hired as a head coach for the Dallas Wings. So that was wonderful for him, because he could keep an eye out for our Trojans. In fact, he has done so. He's picked up Mackenzie Forbes, as you know, was one of the Ivies that joined in Juju's freshman year and was her sidekick. So hey, that was great. And then we lost Wendell Farrell, who decided to go to the other USC, South Carolina, I should say. And he's now he did a lateral type move to become an assistant. Don't know why, but farewell to Wendell Farrell, and wish him well. Welcome, Carter Dulacher. Hi, how are you? I've never seen you. Glad you joined me. Thank you. I hope you subscribe. Hit that subscribe button so you can come back. Let's chat. You follow Women's Hoops. Who's your team? Is the Trojans one of your teams? I hope so, or your team. And if you want to say where you're from, then I can have a reference point for you, Carter. So we also, if you don't know, the Trojans had two other departures that were last minute. You're 19? Okay, good. You did subscribe. Right on. You love hoops? I hope you love hoops. We lost Avery Howell and Kaylee Heckles. They were freshmen, McDonald All-American, contributed greatly to our team. They chose, for whatever reasons, to go to leave. One could speculate with the unfortunate injury to Juju Watkins, uh, some people jump ship. I'm not sure why. It's not like she's not going to come back. So, and they were very good players, so I mean, they could still do their things. One has already found a home. Avery House found a home at Washington, University of Washington Huskies, which is closer to her home in Boise, Idaho. And Kaylee Heckel is still kind of floundering around and waiting. I think she took a visit to Notre Dame. I heard Michigan State. I don't know who the other one is. I know you're not into football that much, but who's the best team in the football NFL? Who's the best team? Doesn't that change every year? Obviously, the winner, the Philadelphia Eagles, is the best team so far, right? Now, best team, they won the championship, so they would have to be the best team, right? Until next year. So, now if you say who's my team or who's my favorite team or anything like that, I just go by proximity. I've always liked the 49ers. So if you uh, want to say that. And then I usually just like football players. I usually like, individual football players. I'm the same way like that about basketball, NBA too. But going back to the USC Trojans. So that's out of the way. Um, so we needed to fill a spot. We need to fill two spots. So far today, the news that I come up to talk about is that USC has chosen an assistant that I'm very, very, very familiar with. Watched her play, watched her career in college, watched from 2002, 2006, watched her career in the pros, and she was actually hired. She actually was an interim coach for the Phoenix Mercury when Vanessa Nygaard was fired. And so she stepped in and became the interim coach. And in that short amount of time, to be thrown into okay, talk to you later, Carter. And hit that like button on your way out for me. Um, and for that short amount of time, um, she did a really good job. Like I think she, if I'm not mistaken, she might have even won a couple of games when I was watching her. At the end, I think she had to take over towards the end of the season or 3 quarters of the season. It was really abrupt, and she stepped up to the plate, and she looked really good at that in that spot as a head coach. I was kind of like rooting for her and impressed. You know what I'm saying? I was like, okay, Nikki. So Nikki's a former Bruin. She played for UCLA, and she was you know, Nikki is joining the Southern California women's basketball as an assistant for Coach Gottlieb. She's making a quick pivot from the WNBA. She actually was hired in January under the new coach, Lynn Roberts, um, for the Los Angeles Sparks. So she sounds like she's housed and homed right here in Los Angeles. So that's really, really good. One of the things that Dilly did well for us is he was good with families and young people, and he was a big part of our recruiting. Um, so I think having Nikki, um, she's probably got a lot of plugs in around Los Angeles with some of the EYBL leagues and things like that, and so I think this is a great pickup for us actually. She's a great guard. I believe Nikki was that point guard, and she ran the show. She's all business. You know what I'm saying? She had skill. Um, she let's see. So like I said, she had been the interim coach for the Phoenix Mercury over the final 28 games of the 2023 season after joining the franchise as an assistant in 2022. Before working at the pro level, she was an assistant for UNLV, Cal State Bakersfield, and Grand Canyon, and Arizona State over 16 seasons. Um, we have elite players who want to eventually become pros, so we wanted to add someone who has pro experience, who's actually been in the WNBA, who's actually been around the WNBA. Hey, Keisha, Aisha D, welcome, honey. Hit that like button. Thank you for joining me. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Let's talk. Let's talk. So I think this is a great catch because we have players, um, definitely I see right now in the Trojans that can go pro, and to have Nikki there to and we play a pro style offense, which I always talk about that, and we try to prepare them in college to play that style of play in the pros. To have someone who's actually been boots on the ground in the WNBA for the WNBA, coaching the pro players, I think it's a great pickup. Whether y'all know it or not, look up Nikki Blue. She's really the truth. Blue was a star guard for the crosstown rival UCLA in the early uh, 2000s before playing in the WNBA for 5 years. She played for Washington and New York, and then she played overseas for Turkey and Greece. So I'm excited about it. I actually am excited about this. I really like that. You've been on your you have formerly LB Gamecocks. Got it, babe. Got it. So yeah, I'm glad you're here because we can talk even more about what's happening in the portal. So the portal right now, I wanted to talk about Nikki. I'm personally excited about Nikki Blue. I think it's a great fit, great catch. Trust me, trust me. When I think of UCLA point guards, I think of Nikki Blue. Okay, and that's an area for me for the Trojans that I want to see strengthen, that I want to especially see strengthen. And I also know I've heard that Jazzy can play point guard. I think she can play 1, 2, 3. Personally, like a forward, small forward, point forward, easily. Um, and so, if she were to step in and get a lot of time in that point guard, to have someone who has immense experience on a high level, like Nikki, I think it's a great pickup. That's why I didn't even worry about Wendell leaving. You know what I'm saying? It's like people got to do what they got to do for themselves. He had been with Lindsay for many, I don't know if you guys really know this, but, you know, for many years, all the way back to Cal Berkeley. I don't even know if it was before Cal Berkeley, but you know what? Student is never greater than a teacher. So it's only as good as a teacher. So whatever he's learned and whatever, you know, his strengths are, um, basically she gave him that start. And really, she's probably the brain behind it. Chicago Cheetah, what's happening? Yeah, the great pickup. You talking about Nikki Blue? If you guys, I hope you guys know. It might be before some of y'all are born, but Nikki, that's a solid pickup, a real solid pickup. Anything coming from the WNBA is a great pickup. And anyone that's from Los Angeles, we know who Nikki Blue is, and we know the excellence that she stands by and for. And just being a woman, on top of that, can get your foot in the door in a lot of homes and working with a lot of kids. Um, so I'm excited for it. I can't wait to see um, how she works with the guards and just gets them ready to go. And then we have Jacko, and Jacko was I know a former USC player who held the 3-point record of 7 made free throws in the game before Juju broke it at 9. So Jacko is great too. And then Willette, I don't know too much about. She's like a mentor to the players. I don't know her basketball background um, per se. I'll do some search research on that so that when I do speak on her, I can give her the honors and respect that she deserves. Yeah, so yeah, that's a great pickup. Yes, absolutely. Another great pickup, whether you want to believe it or not, is London Jones. London Jones, um, in the right setting, especially, and we welcome her. Like we never had no beef against her. Like London is always was 10 toes down, guarding Juju. And there's times like yes, Ju froze her and can shoot over her, but Juju's an elite on a whole nother level player. But the truth of the matter is, for the most part, she stayed in June's shooting pocket, and she stayed up with her. And she can shoot off the dribble. She can shoot. I think she's a great mid-range shooter. She doesn't necessarily. I wouldn't have done what Coach uh, Corey did was just to only isolate her to pull up on threes. There's times where she could come off screens really really well and pull that three. And she's a senior with a whole lot of experience, a whole lot of heart, a whole lot of guts. You know what I'm saying? And she's going to do great things for us. Great pickup with London. And I've already told you what I felt about Dunn. Great pickup with her. She's in the top 10 uh, in the transfer portal, 15, 10, whatever it is. Was Nikki a coach in college or the pros? Nikki was a coach in the college and the pros. She was assistant coach for Phoenix Mercury, and then when Vanessa Nygaard was fired from the Phoenix Mercury, she took over as the interim head coach for the Phoenix Mercury, and then she is just was going to be hired to be the assistant over at the Los Angeles Sparks before pivoting and coming and deciding to go come with us with the Trojans. So both college and the pros, and then she also coached. She said, as I mentioned earlier, UNLV. What did I say, guys? UNLV, Grand Canyon, Arizona State, and another college, Fresno. So I don't know what it was, but she's got over 16 years of experience. What up, Plain Jane? How are you? So London to USC blew my wig off. But but in the words of Juju, let's go. We need a shot. Listen. LA is different. Somebody was shocked when I wasn't truly like a hater of the Bruins, right? Like I grew up in north of all of these colleges when I came down to play. When we first started NCAA basketball, okay, we weren't always NCAA. They were AIAW. When I got in college, we went pretty much. I think it had been one season before me, NCAA, or I think it was when I got there. But UCLA and USC, I've always had friends on both ends. But I was in love with the Trojans because it was just like the Trojans were like Showtime. It was like Showtime at the time. The Lakers were winning, and they were called Showtime. And then we had the women of Troy who were over there kicking ass. Okay, so and their style of play was just fun to watch. So yeah. So Farrell jumped in right away and was going to go somewhere where I was going to go, but let me finish this first. Basically, UCLA and these girls have played against each other in our AYBL, and they played against AAU, right? So they know London. London went to Centennial High School, which is in Corona, which is outside of uh, Los Angeles, but not as far as say Riverside. But basically, they all have played with each other on teams and against each other. So they know each other. They like each other. Juice is excited. Kenny's excited. Everybody's excited. We never had no beef like with London, and she's obviously excited. And you want somebody to have that kind of fire in them to be on your team, because that's always going to be our rivalry, UCLA. And just to have the inside knowledge with her coming over, we didn't really need any inside knowledge. We know how they play, we know what they do, and we know what we need to have. We got their number. We just got to execute it without Juju, which is like Juju takes up about 2.5 players, but we can do it. Well, and I still think we'll still be tops in the Big Ten. So. Another shocking portal transfer for me. Two players that shocked me that I don't know how I feel. And listen, this is just my humble opinion about things. You guys, take it or leave it. You can tell me yours. My humble opinion, when I heard that Janiah Barker went to Tennessee and Jersey Wolfenberger. with the style of hockey he played. And I don't know, she may not continue to do it that way. Apparently, I guess this is the way Kim Caldwell operates, and this is how she coached at her former university. And this is her style. I don't know if it's something that she's married to, where she's just stuck to doing it this way. But Janiyah, either way, is got a pro body. She's got the athleticism, and she has the skill set to play somewhere in the pros. Now, would she be like a high draft pick, to where we need her that she steps in and she starts? I don't know, but 3 minutes in, 3 minutes here, 3 minutes there, to total 20 minutes out of 40. I don't know. I don't know how that looks for her to go in and out, but it seems to be, in my opinion, no different than it was at UCLA. And then Jersey Wolfenberger, she left LSU. She's just a freshman. Kim gave her ample amount of time. Kim was working her from the very beginning when Samaya Smith, from her knee injury, didn't start right away. They just couldn't figure Wolfenberger out. Wolfenberger she wants to be like a Jersey, where she's a point guard, or she's more of a guard. But Kim, she gonna play you at a post based on your height. So what y'all think about Jersey Wolfenberger to Tennessee? Plain Jane, I'm glad to see she stayed in LA. Keep our girls in Cali. I'm from the Bay, but Trojans have been legendary my whole life. Facts. And you already know my story, Plain Jane. I grew up from 12 to the day I entered into college in the Bay Area. I'm from the peninsula, from the Silicon Valley, and I'm a Hall of Famer in that part of the Bay Area. And I'm an all Bay Area basketball player, and number one, number two in sprinting in California, Northern California at the time that I ran the sprint. So I love the Bay. I love the Bay. I love Los Angeles. I was partial towards the Bay, but I loved my earlier years in San Diego. When I grew up in San Diego, I loved San Diego. That's where everything for me started, though I was born in New York. SEC is fire. You think so? Tell me why, Farrell. What's fire about the SEC next season? Gamecock. Janiyah shocked me. I don't know how I know, it's just shocking. It's just, I'm not going to say I don't know how she'll fit in Tennessee, but I just see her sometimes. She just looked lost. She just kind of turned around. I don't know what you say, but Tennessee, I like Spearman. I like Big Spearman, right? And Spear. So I'm thinking maybe she liked what she saw and how Kim plays the bigs. Okay, that's what I'm thinking. Ocott commits to SC from Mississippi State. Yep, Medina Ocott. Number 15, I remember her falling all over Kiki and just being a whatever. She commits to South Carolina. That's a great pickup for them. They need somebody. They need some bigs in there. They need some bigs in there. Everything that's happening, you got to remember, when you get new portals and you get so much disruption with graduation, like we graduated Clarice and Rhea and TiVo and Kiki, and then South Carolina graduated the Breeze and Tahina, and they already needed a big. I hope I didn't forget somebody else. There's chemistry that has to be built when you're adding Agon, Maker, McDowell. Dowdle already is still trying to get herself in the groove over there. Tack never did, and then you're adding Tanaya. You're adding who else? You're adding Ocott, right? So you gotta these ingredients have to cook a while. They have to gel. That you can't expect instant crock pot or microwave when these you get, I got this person, I got that person, we got this person, we got that person. I mean, it looks good on paper, but you gotta make it work. It has to be the right fit. It has to be, they gotta get used to their schooling, changing environment, new teammates, new regimen of practice, new language that you learn, what you call things. Every team calls has a description for things that are called out differently, and it takes you a minute to learn that. I agree. I wanted more out of Barker, and I feel like she's ample time to have influence on the Bruins, and it fell short. I thought she was getting better playing Jane. I thought she was actually like Corey was actually starting to figure out. This girl can hit a mid range. She can hit a three. She can hit an elbow shot. Like you know what I'm saying. Like and then she wouldn't really play her at the same time a lot with Betts, but sometimes then towards the end when she did, I was like, okay, look at her in there making plays. Hey, Michelle. I agree. You agree with me, Chicago? I'm not sure with what, but I'm glad you do. And Juju, I fear this is going to be every year that Porto is going to change the team. Everyone's going to take three different jerseys by the time it's said and done. Or what do you think? I think it can be like that. I think it might be like that because if you just keep changing and keep getting more dollars, and your end goal, and your end goal is not going to be the WNBA, you got a good start in life. You know what I'm saying? You put in your time. Let me tell you, when I played ball and I played two sports in college, and it felt like a job. The time of the day, the time with everything. By the time it's finished, you can't. You're not supposed to practice more than 2 hours on the court, but there's 2 hours of other non-practice things that you could be doing. You know, and it's like a job. And I feel like shoot, I feel like I needed to get paid. You know what I'm saying? Because if you are on scholarship, you don't get money. You're not supposed. You can't work. In my day, you get partial scholarships and things like that. It wasn't like a lot of full scholarship because there wasn't a lot of money going around. Everything went to football. USC got the best player for next season. We got the best number one high school recruit. In my opinion, I think Jazzy was number one. I didn't mind that they didn't have her at number one because I don't really care so much, but I like the branding of it, the sound of it. But I could tell with my own eyes how good she was. Uh, so you said you didn't understand why Barker wasn't starting. Barker, I think it takes time to start. Like I think she was. You remember when they first played? You all first watched them play um, South Carolina. Nobody had any complaints from how she played. It's like she had a bench. She was playing her bench. She was playing her starters. Um, she was playing. It looked like she was ready to go. She had it going on, Coach Corey, and then it just started to kind of like fizzle away. Like and then she just started focusing on just 5 or 6 people. To me, maybe seven, 5 or 6 people, and I was like, "Ugh, you need to fix that, coach." These players, yeah, jumping around the portal, but I think for them, it works for them if they're not going pro, because they got money that they can tuck away and save and invest and just get a good start in life. Um, Especially if and it'd be really good if they're going overseas. Give me 1 minute. My dog keeps barking in the background, trying to be nuts. Hey y'all, I'm back. Okay, so Farrell says SC, UConn, and LSU have all used their portal to. What did UConn get out of the portal? I missed that. Farrell, what did UConn get? I know LSU got a lot of guards. They got the Koval thing going on. It sounds like with Koval, that's where she had originally wanted to go, which is really funny to me because I don't know why she didn't work out with Notre Dame. I never got a sense that she ever got in the groove. I seen like glimpses of like why she was good in her class, and then I just thought she was just terrible after that. South Carolina is putting things together. Here's the thing, what I feel about them. The loss of for Wiley takes for me leaves a bad taste in my mouth for them because of her offensive ability. You still, who is their offensive threat? Who besides Sanaa Latson? Chloe scores. Tessa sometimes, and you only need three. I always say, right? Who else scores? And I pray that Ocott starts and scores. But tell me more about what makes SC. They had allegedly right the number one defensive team in the country. But you couldn't stop UConn, or you couldn't stop. What was that defense designed to do to stop UConn or UCLA? Why didn't it work? If you're the number one defensive team, I don't. What was the defensive about it? You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. And my whole thing is they need more offense. I finally had to just give in and just say I think I figured it out. Your defense is not turning into offense. Like USC, our defense, because of the press, turns into transition points. It's good to have defense, but you got to score. Okay, that's what happens to LSU. That's what happens to Ole Miss. Like you need an offensive weapon. So we'll see, right? It will take time for SC to gel, but I like what I see. I agree. It's going to take time for them to gel and figure out their identity. That's so true. I didn't think about it from that point of view. Plain Jane. What do you think? Who won the? I don't know. I don't think it's over to decide who won the portal yet. I think last year Kiki was the top portal pick, so we had the top portal pick, and then this year I think Tanaya was the top portal pick. So South Carolina would be considered like the top portal pick, but I never heard who had the best portal transfer pickups. It was always like who was the number one portal pickup, who got that, and so I think Tanaya would probably. Because it's exactly what they need. You know what I mean? The way that she can get a bucket. That's all. It's just the way that she hopefully can get a bucket in the SEC. Like I don't know how she's going to play against SEC teams. Honestly, I haven't seen her score against ACC. I don't remember her and how she did. Oh yeah, okay, Joyce. Thanks for reminding me. I'm glad you guys reminded me. Joyce and Leia were the leading scorers this season, but Leia's gone. I know, Riri. Joyce and Leia. Okay, so it was Joyce. I thought it was Chloe. Okay, Joyce. Wow, that's a lot to put on her, but I hope she gets better too next year. Forgot about Joyce. I hate that I did that. I do believe that SC will get will gel sooner than other teams because of the history of Latson and Johnson. Good point. I like that. That's a great point. Because of the familiarity. I mean, it's been years since they played together, but like I finished ball or I come home for the summer and I play with players that I played when in high school. I remember one time I had this alumni game. Out of the blue, we decided to go play. And it had been a number of years. It had been a number of years since we had played 4, 5, 6 maybe. And when we got on the court, the first quarter, well, we played halves. So we'll just say first 5 minutes or 10 minutes, it all came back. We were beating the actual team to where they had to stop. They pulled us and put us. I could tell they started pulling us one by one out that were the starting five because we were the winningest team that Northwestern had record wise, and then they pulled us out, and then that's when like they caught up and we were like, okay, I see what the coach is doing. She don't want to embarrass them. And we knew it too, because it was like when we started clicking, it was just like it was starting to be kind of funny, and they felt I could tell they started feeling defeated. We should start running them, y'all, running them out, passing it, doing the things that it just all came back. So hopefully that'll happen. All of these teams are going to take time. I agree. Most teams contending for 2026 all have some impact players. That's what I'm saying. That's why when Charlie Cream gave his way too early top picks, I think he had us at 19, and then said something, if we get such and such, we could be 12. I don't know what he was talking about. But I was like, you can leave us at 19. I watched when Juju first got there. I think they were ranked 21 and ended up in the Elite Eight. I don't care about your little weight, your little early predictions. It's too early because of everything you just said, Michelle. Everybody's gonna be going through this. Everybody's gonna be going through this, and the parity has already been changed. You just needed a Betts or a Juju type player that can change the complexity of a team, or AZ Fudd getting well, or what's her name, Paige showing up when it's needed, and then of course Sarah Strong. You needed someone that was going to be consistent, that can get you a bucket, that not afraid of big bright lights, show up in the moment, and always come through to win the championship this year. When you have so much parity, these are so many. There's so many good teams. Last one was shut down defensively against LSU. I saw that, and that's an SEC team. That's an example of what I'm talking about. That's why maybe Donna put her in a better position to where it's easy to shut her down for Florida State, except for Timkins. It's easy to shut her down when really that's all they had. Like, you couldn't really do that to Juju. You could throw the doubles and the triples. One, she could score through them. Two, she knew how to pass out of them better than she'd ever had. And then she had other offensive weapons all around her. So that was a beautiful thing. Eventually she had 30. Yeah. But not for the win. She needed help. And that's where, who is the other help on South Carolina? You guys can tell me that. USC Trojans will shock everyone. I already believe it. I'm just quietly watching and trusting Coach G. She does well with less. Where we're like lesser known. Yes, we had a superstar, and then Jazzy is such. For me, Jazzy Davison is like a Juju Watkins as a freshman. She is her IQ and her tendency. She may not just be as athletic as Juju, but she is pretty much right there. Like, she's that good with her thinking process. The way that she spaces the floor, the way that she drives to the basket, the way that her finishes on the baseline. Like, I don't have anybody at USC that I know that takes baseline as well as she's going to take baseline. And the way her body is made, like DeWanna Bonner, she just squeezes in these tight spaces that Juju usually euros through. And then she just looks even longer than Juju. Like, I don't even know if she's 6'3", but she looks longer than her. Her wingspan could be longer. So I think Charlie's way early right now. I thought those rankings were ridiculous too. I was like, normally I could be bold and say some crap like I would do it. I'm not afraid to throw myself out there. I did it last year. I told you who's going to be player of the year, and I told you how good the Trojans was going to be. And no one could see it. And usually I said, let me see them play first. But then I had to watch the kids coming in over the summer, and then that's when I was like, oh, okay, I see what she's doing with this. I see what she's doing with this. And then when UCLA shockingly won, after I seen them play some games before they played South Carolina, I knew they were going to beat South Carolina because I had watched both of them. And so I was like, but I knew we would beat UCLA because we had that big body, and and then that the extra help with Jew later sliding down, that was just an extra caveat on Betts. But Betts did get better. I will give it that. There's so much parity in, especially in the SEC. Absolutely, the paint is. Timeline has proven she can get buckets against SC teams. Talai Lachlan she has okay. She's proven that. Okay. And just know that I don't know that Dawn. I like to see how Dawn's gonna play her because she's not used to going in and out. This is gonna be interesting. I just can't wait till I can see the SC USC matchup. You can't wait, Jazz. Yeah, I couldn't wait either when I had my juju, but I'm still gonna be excited. I'm gonna be there, but I'm still gonna be excited to see it. But I would have loved to I would have loved to have. I'm gonna have to probably go to South Carolina the year after to see because I can't let my juju go out there by herself. I know the village is gonna be there, and we're gonna bring a busload of people because we ain't gonna let my team get screamed out the gym. That ain't gonna happen. What up there, beauty? What's happening? Good evening. Good night. Good evening. Good evening. Good night. I don't think I don't trust the rankings. Honestly, the teams are not even fully loaded yet. Thank you. That's what I'm saying, Chicago. But I guess looking at what we have now, then okay, that's what you're gonna go by. You know what I'm saying? That's what you're gonna go by. Okay, so be it. I'll be at the game. Got my ticks. You got your ticks? Okay, Michelle. We gotta hook up. Hold on, give me a second. Okay, I had to talk to my godson real quick. All about jazz. I'll be at the game. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so Michelle, you're gonna be at the game. I'm gonna tell you where I'm sitting. Check this out. I'm in. You can look it up. Row 101. What was it called? Section 101. Row 4. Check. I think that's it. Section 101 for sure. I think it's row 4. Check that out, Michelle. Okay, Michelle, you got big tick. Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be so like it was getting ready to be. Isn't it crazy how they designed the flyers? They had the battle of the SC, then they had the two players that wear number 12, and neither one of them gonna be there. So that was man, you see how quickly, Lord have mercy, you see how quickly things can change. Unbelievable. So what do you guys think? Where do you guys think Fawali's gonna go? I got them the first day when they went on sales. I'm a California Gamecocks fan. Right. Where do you think Fuwali's gonna go, y'all? And we do have California Gamecocks too. That's I do know that. So you don't have to feel like we'll drown you out. But they know what's up. They love them some Juju. They love our team too. I mean, you heard LSU, but then Lay said no. Lay was like, I'm not visiting. I don't understand what the heck is going on, and I don't believe her either because they do lie. Or she said she wasn't visiting. All she said was like, I'm not visiting there this week or whatever. But the way she laid it out, it was kind of like, you're right. Skim Milky turned around and said, you are going next. I mean, clarified it was next week that you're going. So you're not going this week, but you might decide this week and then go. It's just weird what's going on. It's crazy. And then she's listed as do not contact. Right. So, which kind of leads me to believe, like, is this about money? Because what kind of playing time do you think you're going to get there when you already got a number 12, which is Michaela Williams' number? You already got guards as well. So, what's the difference? So that's why I was like, it's not about playing time. Might not even be about money. It's about something else. It's about a player that is not happy or with the philosophy of the coach, or her and the coach don't get along. People cannot get along with Don. That's not an impossible thing. You know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't you know gonna love Don Staley. For them as a coach. Nothing against her as a person, but not everybody's gonna feel the same way as fans do. We're not coached by her. We're not handled by her. So we don't know what she's experienced. You think she wants to start? Well, how is she going to start? Who's she going to start over at LSU? She's not that her handles are not tight enough for point unless Michaela goes to point. And then Miracle Shepherd left. She's 5'10". I can't believe that. Miracle Shepherd left out of LSU. Wherever she goes, I hope she grows. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We hope that she grows. I hope all these players continue to grow. That never stops. Learning and growing should never stop. I think if you move Michaela to point, you can slide Lay across from Flage, and that way she can start. But it's interesting to think if that's what she wants to do, and she believes that she can start over somebody. It wouldn't be those two. So who's gonna be the point? And that's why I seen Michaela playing point. I kind of liked it because I thought her shot was better from the top of the key than it was from the wings. They kept having her just be still at the wing. I liked the way she was creating things up there. She's a big point guard, kind of like Chelsea Gray. I like to see her get in better shape. And then I like to see who her backup is going to be, because running point is no joke. It's very exhausting. Yeah, I wonder where Miracle Shepherd will land. I thought for sure she was a lock, and KG would be the one in the portal. That's funny, when KG was the one that was hooping in the beginning. Like, she understood how to come in and make an impact. Remember when she come in and she was like the closer, the finisher. Like, she understood her assignment when she got off that bench. That's what it's all about. Because I've done both. Never not started until I got to college, because I was unexpected walk on. but I was damn sure a 6 man. I was in there likely when the game was most impactful. You would have never known that I wasn't starting because of the way I was in at the most important minutes, and that's what you gotta understand. It's like stop getting hung up on starting and things like that. Just know that you need to be in there when the game is when you need to make an impact and when it's you know at the most crucial times and moments. You won't even notice that you're not starting. Lay in Juju. Come on now. I'm a guy of fire, but it's not happening. Lay lay in Juju. Come on now. Fire. But I know. Boo. Totally boo. But I know my team got some exciting players. I just can't wait. They're gonna fight. They're definitely gonna fight. They're definitely gonna fight. And they're definitely gonna lay down, you know, gonna understand the assignment. I just want to get out of there with a win and shock everybody. Lace shouldn't have left. She's coming off the bench somewhere else. She will start, but she can't play point guard yet. She will need to learn that position at the D1 level. Yeah, but she's not getting a chance to learn that. We should learn her senior year. She's learning her junior year, and that's the thing. I mean, playing point in high school and playing point in college is totally different. I'm guessing that the reason they is leaving is because she mentioned in an interview that she didn't see the benefit of coming off the bench. Really? It's all about the bench? Dang. I mean, I mean, coming off the bench. I mean, there's times where it wasn't so much for me, her coming off the bench as much as there were times like when you took her out or when she was playing. There were times in the game where I was like, she can be in now. Where's Lay? You know what I'm saying? And then taking her out where when she made like it was her lackadaisicalness sometimes. And it's like she just had lapses in judgment, making things more difficult than they needed to be. Mistakes. But everybody on the team made mistakes. But they got pulled too. So I don't know. If they weren't cutting the mustard, they got pulled too. But she just needed to play through her mistakes. But I don't really care about her pulling her from mistakes because we do the same thing. There was times I seen Avery came out, I was like, dang damn, god damn. But it was the fact that it made her jittery and less confident. It was like she couldn't figure out that happy medium and that balance of like you could just feel like I could feel when a player feels like damn it, I threw that ball away and start walking towards the side like I know I'm gonna get pulled. And it was embarrassing because like kid, she didn't pull you, she's not pulling you. Oh, then you stop and you turn back like, oh, okay, I'm in. Or you just know any minute, like, and you start trying to make something happen. You rush and then you hurry and then you start, trying to do something all so fast because this is how many minutes I'm going to get. Let me make something happen. And you're not even paying attention to the floor and where the pace of the game is. We didn't need you to do all of that. Hey, Donovan. What's happening, Donovan? I'm sorry. I'm just in the middle of talking. And that's where I think for me, that's where I started to see her doing second guessing herself, going too fast, um, rushing things, trying to get it all in the amount of time before I get pulled out. And nobody was going at that pace right now. You're going too fast. Slow down. You're still playing like high school. Like it was at the point in the season where she was as a sophomore. It was like learn pace, and she wasn't. KK Arnold was doing that, and then I started to see KK Arnold start to. I have so much belief in KK Arnold that I think she could actually be the point guard for UConn. It's time for her to do that if she can understand space and pace and stop going. K9 needed to do it too. Like, okay, K9. Sometimes you can like get past the first line of defense with your speed. But the second and third, they go on beeline to the basket, and there's nothing there. And then once it closes up, you don't know what to do. You don't know how to spin out. You don't know how to between your leg. You don't know how to back it out. You're just going 90 miles an hour. And Lay was doing that, 90 miles an hour, then throwing it next to Joyce. Like, what was she supposed to do with that? Lay left, in my opinion, because Dawn needed her to have a thicker skin, but Lay wants it her way, and you can't grow that way. Wow, that's a good point. I agree. I'll circle back for the next one. I'll hit that like button. Hit that like button. Thank you. I just want to come up here. Excuse me, guys. Hold on. I just want to come up here and talk a little bit about Nikki Blue and what I think we've done with selecting her. And that's what I love about Coach C. Like, I'm not going to worry about anything. I know she knows. I mean, we got a lot going on. We got a football team that we're developing right now. I heard there's some money that's going into basketball. Basically, they need to put that money into to women's basketball because we're kind of putting them on the map right now. I mean, our volleyball team and our track team. Our track team is awesome. We got some young horses in the Trojans for track, women and men. These men and women are going to be world class sprinters. They are rolling right now. We're gonna have a bad A relay. I'm telling you. And volleyball's doing good. I mean, the Trojans overall are just they're doing good as a program. I love our kids. I love the kids that we have. And to think that we could have Juju for 2 more years is amazing. No telling if she'll go out in the class of 2027 or will she, with her class, or will she go ahead and go out in the class of 2028. It's all, she's probably at a painful a place right now with surgery and rehabbing and all that kind of stuff right now. This is too far ahead to think, or it could be going really, really well. And she's back in January, February. Who knows? We don't know. But whatever she does, we're going to support it. And I just got more time to see her in the college ranks. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing WNBA stuff. I don't even know who to follow, but I love this guy. Of course, I want to see Angel Reese. Then I want to see I kind of feel like I need to just keep with the vein of things like supporting USC and the Trojans, but being in the Bay, I may get to go see some Valkyrie games. Yeah, so when Becky got there, I just became an Aces fan. I was an Aces inspired, but when Candace left, that's how I became a Chicago fan. So it's going to be some good basketball. So whatever, if none of those teams are your team, and I could watch Seattle. You know what I'm saying? I could watch Minnesota. I could watch New York. The way they mix up the teams and spread out some of my favorite players, and I'm curious how Paige is going to do in Dallas. You might get to come up here and get in a chat with me, and we're gonna watch. We're gonna watch Dallas. We're gonna watch Iowa. Iowa. Excuse me. I'm thinking of Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark and the Fever. Like, I want to see what all of these Connecticut. I gotta watch Rhea and Anissa Morrow, right? And Sanaya Rivers and it's just so many kids that we've been following in college, y'all, that we got a chance that we got to see how our babies are doing preseason, right? And we got to see who's going to make it, who's not, who's in, who's out, who's the first one in. I don't know if Maddie Westball's going to make the sky. I'll tell you that. That's one thing that sticks out for me is Maddie Westball with the sky. Oh, we back on that. Okay, what you saying, Jazzy? Jazz. Okay, I agree that Malaysia is very impatient. Even in her style of play, yeah, no coach is going to give her free will. Know that matter where she goes, she's going to wherever she goes, she's going to need to understand that, and she's going to need a coach that's patient. But the standard and the excellence and the degree of patience that Don has displayed, that she was displaying with her, was noticeable. I could see it. I felt like she was giving her. She. Uh, if she wanted a team like Hannah and Juju and Madison, where it's kind of like you know, that's their team, and it's built around them. That's not the place. That's not gonna be the place for it. Sometimes that's the way it can. I'm not saying that Carolina doesn't have like a standout. Like you did. You had Cordosa. You had Boston. It was always Leah Boston and South Carolina. Then you had Asia. You had Tiffany Mitchell. You had standout performers and names that came out of Carolina. And you when you thought of that team, the identity of that team was rooted in them. And this is who the ball is going to go to in crucial moments for buckets and stuff like that. And I thought that's what she was doing with Lay. So I don't understand why when people think of South Carolina, they talk about Malaysia Fawali. When I hear Carolyn Peck, Malaysia Fawali, what? I mean, they just rave about her. But then they start to see these glaring things happening, um, and we excuse it, because one, they're freshmen, sophomore even. It's like, okay, we get that, but what was really sad is people all over the internet. She should leave. She should leave. She should leave. That's pretty. That plays on your mental a lot. That gets really kind of like taxing. Like sometimes we can be really really like messed up. You know what I'm saying? Like you really mess. We as fans we can really mess with people. Like talking about LeBron, talking about Westbrook, and talking about saying the stuff that they're trash and this is trash and then it's like your words hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't Raven got waved off and she HVL is ready to commit suicide. Sometimes we need to chill like with all that. Yes, we got to see what they're going to do at the next level, but I predict that some players are going to end up overseas. Yeah, maybe. I think the issue is Lay thinks she deserves free will, which is stunning her growth, exposing her weaknesses, if you will. Yeah. I mean, whose fault was that? That the girl dribbled down the court, everybody's coming down. You thought you got by AZ when she actually set you up to make you think that, and then picked your pocket wide open on an island. That's freaking embarrassing. That changed the whole momentum when you did that. Who does that? And it was not more. I think it was more than once. Once, okay, but more than once, okay. Lay folks were in her head for sure. Honestly, she probably would have stayed. That's what I think. I think it was just people was in her head. It seems she's not aware the team is built around her, but maybe that was promised to her. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. To an extent, huh? That's a good point. Maybe they're because little side talk is going on where one of her good friends like, oh, we would clutch our pearls if we knew. Like, what was something? I don't know. Don says she made a promise one time in her career, and she said she never did that again. I wouldn't say never. She did it before, and she learned her lesson early in her career. So that I don't know. We're supposed to. I was like, instead of acting like you know something, it's like spill the beans. Quit running around and casting a dark shadow over this program and this coach based on one player. Like what I'm saying? Because if it's true, everything that's done in darkness will come to the light. You don't have to like keep this charade up because it's really sad. It's really sad because it's like becoming unbearable for me. Not anymore. It started to come. It's almost like, okay, Lay, will you just go in and make up your mind where you're going to go so people can get used to it and move on with the conversation because, Don making faces. I don't know what she making faces about getting Dilly or you or just being silly. I don't know. Or false expectations, not promises. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Not anymore. Yeah, she don't anymore. She don't make no promises no more. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't go by like implications either. And another thing, like I've been in a program 1 year. It was like we had that same kind of like we had a bench and we had a bench that could start and starters that could be benched. It was fun too. The way we depending on who we were playing and how we matched up is who started or how that game was going to end up with your time and when you came in. And it's all about matchups. That's all. It wasn't like I was thinking the Trojans were like, I know we had Juju Watkins. I ain't gonna lie, that's a game changer. And I knew that her best play was way towards is going to be towards conference because of the surgery she had on her hand. But I just felt like I felt like the length of our guards and the forwards and our bigs, it made and they were fast and they were agile and I felt that we matched up better than certain teams matched up with certain teams that didn't win or did win. You know what I'm saying? It was just a matchup thing. So it's like you sometimes Lay should start, but sometimes she shouldn't. Or you needed to get those starters, which they started to do towards the end, would pick up your speed, pick up your pace. You need to be the hunter, strike first, and they weren't. They were playing catch up, but they kind of left the end of the season playing like that. That's how Iowa was up 13-2 in the first quarter. It's like that's the way the Carolina would always play from behind, which is exhausting. If you don't got enough offensive power, you ain't gonna be controlling nothing coming from behind. Talks about being honest with recruits and their parents. I think she's honest. I think she's gonna regret. Oh, I hope not, Jazz. I hope she doesn't regret. It's so crazy. It's such a difficult time and decision. Like, oh my god, I wrestle. I mean, it affected me, my choice for a number of years after I got to college. If I had done it this way, if I had done it that way, I could have did this and did this. Or when I was asked to go try here, or should I have played two sports? It stays with you a long time. But I've been successful in my career outside of sports and choices that I made along the way. You got to live with your choices and your decisions. You can't regret. You can't live with regrets. Chloe and Bree's parents said the same thing. I think Lay and Michaela are similar. They can have high ceiling, just needs that guidance from a coach like Coach G is with Juju. That's what I think. I think I'm like Michaela was number 2 behind Juju, and I'm just like, gosh, Michaela, come on. Like she was hoping. Yeah, she had some injuries towards the end, and then this year she was set out. But Juju had a slow start, so but it was like rounding out. I could see. Could you say happy birthday to my friend Nick Kerr? Oh, absolutely. Happy birthday, Nick Kerr. Oh, you trying to be funny? Diabolical. I think I remember. I think I remember you. I fell for it, guys. I think he's trying to be funny. Okay, diabolical turtle. You got your laugh. What a troll. I fell for it. I was trying to be nice. Still rooting for Lay. Well, we're still rooting for Lay wherever she goes until she plays us. Exactly. Yeah, that's a troll. Um, um, and that's just how it's gotta be. You know what I'm saying? That's how it's gonna be. When we see Avery, Ken Dog, take care of that. I know you just trolling. That was funny. You got me. Um, um, we see Avery, same thing. It's nothing personal. Shoot, I remember one time my best friend on my track team. She runs the opposite of me, and 400 meters, and I ran 100. I ran the 200. She didn't, but we were trying something different. We did both relays together. So we put her out one of the relays to get more points in another race that was one of my races. And the basketball coach, male coach, is like talking to us one day, to help me get faster. She was a year older than me. She's like, you need some competition. I think Val should race. I think she should be in a race against you. She can give you some competition. I was like, yeah, that's a good idea. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah. And she's like, yeah, I don't know. She's like, he said, no, you just as fast as Julius. Just as fast. Okay. You just run the quarter. You don't run the okay. Then it became by the end of the conversation. Well, do you think you could beat her? I think you could beat her. And then they were messing with me to bring out the best in me. I found out later. She's like, yeah, I think I could beat her. And I was like, I was there. I said, what? You could beat me? And she's like, I don't come in your race talk. I said, I don't come in your race talking about I can beat you. And so she was like, no, 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 no. We're gonna race. We're gonna race. I think I could beat you. Da, da, da. We really gonna. I was like, okay, cool, cool, cool. But I wasn't cool, 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 cool. I was kind of mad that she felt like she could beat me. I was really pissed off. Friend or no friend. So you can still be friends with somebody, love them, that we sisters to this day. But when it comes to when you're competing, that's what competing is about. You know what I'm saying? That's what competing is about. So nothing personal, Lane, but we're gonna try to shove this ball down your throat. We're gonna try to make you look bad. We want to beat you, and that's just the way it is. That's how it is with. But sometimes some people are so diabolical that you just like. I don't even want them on my team. I don't want to play with them. I don't like them. I just don't come over here. Like whatever. So, but we never felt that way with London Jones. We never had a experience with her where in the stands or whatever, like boo, like boo London, what I'm saying? So, you know, it's whatever she got going on and her Denia's reasons, that didn't look good. Personally, it didn't look good. Didn't look good at all. But it didn't look good at all for her to do that. But I thank goodness that she did, and she realized we need some help, and it's unfortunate. I mean, we're really devastated in Los Angeles about the loss of Juju Watkins. Like when it happened, the Galen Center went into a hush and then immediately, as soon as when the game began and they started touching the ball and just boos and everything, like we was very like defensive and very crushed, behind it and tears. Kids were crying. It was bad. It was people grown ups fell to their knees. You just don't understand. Like you don't want to see this kid, this very humble superstar who we watched since she was a little girl, like hoop dreams. You don't want to see somebody's hoop dream. Back in the day, that was a hoop dream that would have been, you know, crushed and what could have should have been. Thank God for all the medical professionals and technology and things that they can do with your knees and build you whole brand new knees, stem cells, all kind of different. And then like she asked in her class when Tom Brady was the other great number 12. Uh, she asked him a question, and he talked about Alex Guerrero, who is a holistic doctor, which I like, an alternative medicine doctor. That if she listens to about what things to eat, what things to do, uh, nutrition wise, and different things that this uh, guru, or should call him a guru, holistic alternative medicine doctor did for Tom, she can have a successful career. And that's what we have to think about, like long term. Like Juju, we want to see Juju playing for a very long time. And Tom came back. This happened in 2008, and as you know the story about Tom, Tom became one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, and won more Super Bowls than any other quarterback. So, like that's the way that I see the story playing out. And so these players need to be honest with themselves, flexibility in measuring their progress as it comes to their careers before jumping in a portal. And unless it was just so
Sorry, I'm having trouble connecting to the internet. It looks like an issue with the router and Echo device.
And I'm just saying, I don't know. We don't know her reasons. We just don't know Lay's reason. So Kima Walker on TikTok said she does. And so there's a reason. There's a reason. And if she's not happy, I guess she has to go. She's crazy. I don't, and it might be good for her to leave her hometown. Might be good for an explorer to grow up. I don't know. Well, we'll have to see how this story plays out. All I have to say is Kylie is going to SC with Chloe. Can't wait. How do you know that? Stuff is set in stone. So many rumors. I know she's visiting. I just saw that Kylie Kids is visiting. Where was it, guys? Good talk to. Catch you on the next live. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, catch me on the next live. Um, Kylie Kids, I don't know. You think she's gonna end up in SC? I think it would have happened by now, in my opinion. And I think I saw her name visiting somewhere. So I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, there's even you guys gotta follow me on Twitter. We be cracking up. We be going in for Juju. We be going in for Juju over there. And then the SC fans they troll us and mess with us. We're the real SC and stuff like that. That's gonna be warming up, y'all. Michelle playing day. That's gonna be the talk of the town. We already settled what that's all about. Then me, I'm gonna break down our history, but everybody want to talk about the last 5 years. I don't give a damn if it was 30, 40 years ago. The legacy is a legacy is a legacy. You know what I'm saying? Greatest is greatest. How long has it been since Jordan played? Same thing. He's still the greatest. Why can't my greatest be the greatest? You know? So we're trying to build a new era with USC Trojans. We're doing it. We're going to continue to do it. We got a lot of great kids that are coming out of Cali that I can't wait to see where their decisions are going to be. I think Coach G is doing her thing, building a legacy. Those of you that are following me on Twitter, you also follow me. My name is Julie Middleton I think it says Julie Middleton or Everybody Loves Juju on Twitter. My real name is Julia. Dad nicknamed me Juju when I was a little girl, and close friends on my Hall of Fame plaque. It actually says Juju in 2018 before I knew of Juju. So people in LA, ballers know me as Juju. So uh, if you're following me on Twitter, I want to thank you guys personally. I have a great time with you guys over there. You guys are funny, funny, funny. I crack up all the time, but we be dead serious about our Juju takes, so and USC, so and how we feel about our coach and just the program in general. So, um, thank you guys for subscribing to my channel on YouTube. Everybody loves Juju. Uh, 1, 2. It's real easy. Like everybody loves Chris. Hey Chris. Everybody loves Raymond. Everybody loves Juju. 1, 2. Her number. And please subscribe to me. As you can see, scrolling across the banner, um, in order to get me into the algorithm, to get more people to come over and join us and to join our chat, and let's link up and create a community. I need followers, right? I need to be up in the algorithm when people are looking for USC or Juju information or news. So I need you guys to subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend, and share my channel. Um, yeah. And what makes me an expert? I don't know. Maybe because I've been playing basketball all my life. I did. I accomplished a lot with as much as I could. I think that what we are seeing now are on the players' shoulders and backs of players like me that played in a time where it wasn't as popular, but it helped to grow the game and it helped to get it popular. Um, Still have the love. There was times where I took a break. I'm not gonna lie that I wasn't into watching hoops, but when I came back, um, over time, I started to see the game not just be a few players that were very good on just a few teams. It's starting to be like much better all the way across the board, where I can just turn on almost any game and enjoy. Like I love that Alabama Maryland game, the tournament. That's probably one of the best games of the tournament right there. And then I think Penn State and not Penn State, Kansas State and who was it, you guys? Kansas. That we had to play. We had to play Kansas State, and I can't remember who they were playing in the tournament. And just see that game was really good too. The Bet Sisters and Kid Sisters will be a nice match. That's gonna be funny. That they have to play each other too, Jazz. Right? They go to Vegas for that classic. So I think it's Duke, UCLA, and South Carolina, and I don't remember the fourth team. I'm going to try to remember what the fourth team is, but they're going to see each other early. So we're going to see what UCLA. You know, people was talking about what we lost. We lost graduates and Kaylee and Echo, but I wasn't worried about it because I like what we have with Jazzy. Like I didn't really care, and but Coach Corey, and she's not whining about it losing for her recruits, her 4 freshman recruits, and Janiyah in London. And I think that's the problem. You so high hell bent on beds, and then Kiki just had a procedure on her shoulder, so that hopefully her shoulder will be 100%. She's going to be going for it because she wants to get her name. She wants to go pro. Obviously, she wants to be in the top. She wants to be in a lottery pick and be at the draft and everything like that. Being number 2 in her draft class, along with Betts being number 1, she's trying to gear up to have a great senior year. And when I saw Sienna Betts, I was like excited. I was like, oh my gosh! And then her and Jazzy was killing it until the Jordan Classic. And then I started, and then I think even the Nike, it seemed like Sienna started to chill out a little bit. So hopefully Sienna doesn't fizzle out. Like she actually plays the way. For some reason, I look at Jazzy's skill set and her discipline and just the way her style is. It's something that just comes natural for her. When I look at Sienna, I'm like, okay, you're gonna play more than likely the power forward. Let's see how you do. You're gonna have great chemistry, hopefully, with your sister. And I see Sienna like in the running for like freshman of the year, and then I just seen a game out of her where I was like, oh, that motor started to die, and I was like, but I never seen Jazzy's motor like change like that. She was always like her mind and her presence and everything when she's on the court. It's just like even kill like Juju, like Kennedy, like they just have this focus that is amazing for freshmen. Usually wants to pull a page. She's trying to leave with some hardware. Yeah, trying to leave with some hardware. They came very close, but they better schedule some tougher teams at the beginning of the year because that didn't challenge them at all. They didn't stay sharp. They didn't stay sharp at all. I had them all the way to the finals, like clear cut. Like they just seemed so sharp, so fundamental in the beginning, and they just like something was going on there with substitutions and rotations and just the disconnect. You could see obviously when Corey was in the press conferences, there was something that she was like not happy with, right? So there was something internally, and that's the thing. You be around somebody like from the summertime throughout the entire long basketball season, October, March, plus the summer. That's like 10 months with each other, yo. That's enough. And you're going to go through all kind of changes. And that's why you see the portal happening, because now we have an option. Instead of silent quitting and just stop trying and like, okay, I'll be content with this sitting this bench thing and not really even try anymore in practice to get any more time. You just kind of like now people just leave. They have an option to leave, and we're not going to have to sit out a year. So yeah, so that's what's up. That's up. I'm just talking. So usually wants to pull the page. So anyway, y'all, that's all I gotta say. If y'all don't have any other questions or anything else y'all are interested in discussing, I just want to come up here and holler at y'all, see how y'all doing. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe, tell a friend and tell a friend. I'll be back. I'm keeping my eyes close and peering in on the next portal news, and I'll try to jump up when it happens, and we can chit chat it. We can talk about it. I'm just curious to see how Paige and everyone else. Shoot, Jazz. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I was talking about earlier. I was saying like I'm gonna be up here with you. Come back and visit me. I want to come back and see how this class is gonna do. You know, we got a lot of people. Like I'm looking at Georgia Amor and Rhea and Kiki and Sellers and Paige. I just got to see like Sarah Ashley Barton. There's so many people that I'm just curious, like how they gonna do. Are they gonna make it? You know what I'm saying? What did they get it right? You know, with their draft picks. Will they make these teams? You know what I'm saying? Let's look at our new franchise team. Let's look at like half the coaches were switched out. They're gonna have different coaches. Have you guys seen the Chicago Sky staff? All African American black staff, from top to the bottom. Like it's crazy, and they look good. They look like they not playing. They look like they not playing. He has all the right pieces to work with the skyscrapers, to work with the guards, to work with the forwards, to work with the player development, scouting. It just looks amazing. Like, and nobody's even talking about them. Nobody even talking about them. Which, don't worry about. If ain't nobody talking about your team, that's even better. Like, cool. There's no expectations. That's even better. I'm watching. I'm gonna watch with you, Jazz. I'm watching. I got my Ray over there. I got Ray and Marshall over there. I gotta watch. And I love me some Niece to Beast. People think that Niece to Beast can't make it. Like she gonna get blocked a little bit. She gonna get blocked. She gonna get her welcome to the league moments. But she's not gonna keep coming. She's not gonna stop coming at them. When she get in there, this is her dream. This is her mama's dream. This is her mama been coaching her since she was a little girl. She is going to go ham. She is excited to be there. Like she is going to exceed expectations. So just like they saw Tina Thompson when she was number one draft pick, she was in a position, playing a position like Niece, small for her size. But I didn't even know Tina had a three like that, because in college she wasn't shooting a three from the baseline like that. She would step out, she'd play inside, she had her spin moves, she had her fadeaway. When she started pulling that three, everybody's eyes lit up. And Cooper then was like, "Oh, you can shoot a three. Oh, boom, let's go." So stay tuned for Niece to Beast in Connecticut, okay? I'm watching with you. All right, y'all. I'm gonna end it right there. Moral Strong. The only thing she's gonna change is her pace of play. To match whatever's going on the court. Cause I watched her at DePaul, and I would always look if DePaul was on. I was like, "Oh, that's that girl Niece tomorrow." So I remember her from there, because she was doing everything for her team. So I was like, okay. So then I was like, oh, now she with LSU. She got better players around her. So, you know, she doesn't have to do as much, but she gets to do what she does. So yeah, I was like, I think it'll be the same thing with in the pros, you know, for her. She just needs to just do what she does. Be great. Be great. Okay, I'm gonna take off. Y'all over there on Twitter. Come on, I want to see. I think I had, when I ended today, I had like 346 subscribers. Give me at least 4 or 5 of you guys to come on over there. Get me up to 400 so I can be 100 away from 500. Please. I appreciate that. All right, I'm gonna stop because I can go all night. No, that's all good. No, I was gonna say that I can too. I can too. I don't want to bore everybody, but I want to thank you though, Josh, for hanging with me though. I'll be back though. I got I think I got my string fixed so it's not annoying me to be up here. I just still kind of got this cold, so allergies or something that's bothering me, so it's hard to talk. But I love talking with you. I appreciate you standing by, staying with me, and maybe I'll come up at an earlier time so I can see some of my other people. But I know it's like late; it's almost 11 o'clock where they are. But I love you to light. I'll see you guys soon. Let's keep an eye on this portal, and I'll be back before you know it. Have a good evening.